Hey folks, Jordan on Little Survival. So today we're going to talk about one of the most basic, easiest tarp shelters to set up, and that is the lean-to. Alright folks, like I tell everybody in all these videos all the time, because new people come along all the time here on my channel, you want to pay attention to the 4 W's and the 1 G while selecting a campsite. The 4 W's is water, firewood, wind, and widowmakers. Okay, so widowmakers, for those who don't know, dead, tall, standing trees or big branches up in trees that come crashing down on you if wind comes through, possibly causing serious injury and or death to you, so you don't want to have that happen to you. Obviously, the other 3 are explainable, or self-explainable, and the G is game trails. Now, it does depend on where you live at in the world, whatnot, but predators, just like prey animals, they take game trails. Some prey animals, like, heck, even deer, moose, elk, whatever, they're dangerous to use too, because they might see you as a threat and try to eliminate you. So there's that situation. So also, when we try selecting a campsite, guys, want to make sure that's uphill, slightly more elevated than the surrounding area, and we can always kind of manually manufacture that happen as well, because we can add dirt, sticks, whatever we want to do to our campsite itself. So that's how you select a campsite. Now we're going to set up the lean-to shelter. Alright folks, so when we find a campsite that works for us, everything's all good, everything is cleared out, so we know, okay, this is how far we need to make a ridgeline for a shelter and whatnot. Speaking of ridgeline and shelter usage, okay, you want to be comfortable in your shelter, so you want to be able to sit up, kneel up when you want to do there to work on projects, tend to your fire, just be more comfortable than just laying down or whatever you want to do. So what you want to do is find out, hey, how tall am I sitting upright or kneeling upright inside my shelter where my head's not going to make contact with the tarp and get all stuff loosey-goose and whatever else. So what you want to do is measure with your body, right? So I know, for example, it's about 3 finger spaces above my navel or my belly button over to the tree. That's roughly, in general, the area I want to go, or how tall I want to go from the ground up to put my ridge line. Now, if you don't know what that is right offhand, the height-wise, you can always just kneel down next to the tree, upright, and go, okay, where is this going to be at? Okay, about right there. You can mark it with your thumb, knife, hold your thumb there, whatever you want to do. So you sit there, take your ridge line, bowline knot, pre-made. You want to sit there, feed the main body a line through. Make sure your prusik knots are free. What I like to do is kind of have this go back on itself like that. Let me show you again, just in case you missed it. So it's having it like this, little triangle effect. If I can get that on the camera. Triangle effect there. Bring the whole thing this way. It's going to bite onto the bark of the tree, making it more secure over the long run. Now we're going to run this to the other side. We're going to go. Alright, so we got our ridgeline secured over there, obviously, over here to the other side of the tree. Now you want this ridgeline to be on the same side as the bowline knot. So obviously it's going to be on your guys' side, not mine. So I'm going to wrap it around there. Have a line here. Now what you want to do, and hopefully I can demonstrate this probably better this way. Take your ridgeline, the main one right here, okay? Flip it over on itself. You're going to have the main line here, loop here. Alright, maybe I'll stand there, that might actually work better for color. You're going to see that this main line right here, the loop. Grab the main line through the loop, and you're going to pull away from you. Alright, so that's going to be your loop for your trucker's hitch. Don't pull towards you, because it's going to pop this out. Pull it away from you. So, take your tail end, go through. Alright, and then just kind of eyeball it, make sure it's still straight. That's got to be up somewhere around there. There we go. I should go up a little bit here. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to pull this taunt. I'm strumming the guitar. So, what you want to do to secure this, there's 3 main ways you can do this. So, number 1, the classic way, pinch off behind. Actually, let me get you guys a little closer, different angles. So, hold on 1 second. Alright, so we're back. Now, I kind of have this angled towards you at a funky angle, kind of like this, just so you guys can see this better for demonstration purposes. Obviously, you want this level. Now, how you finish this off is hold this tail end taunt, pinch behind this loop right here, or I just like to jam my thumb right there, that works too. Take your tail end, make a loop, okay, the bigger the more issues you're going to have, so I go for a small loop. Hopefully you guys can see a little bit here. And I want to feed my tail end through and start pulling that tight. My line's kind of all sticky from sap and whatnot, but we'll make her work. Okay, so we have that now tight. Okay. Ridge line's still good. Now with this loop, what I like to do, because say you're out winter camping or it's going to be, where'd my toggle go? Uh-oh, I lost it. Say you're out winter camping or whatever and you have the risk of freezing rain or snow buildup or whatever, freezing your line, basically take a toggle like this, stick here, put it in here, and it could be like a 10 stake, whatever, just sticks are easier because they're everywhere, okay? And in the morning when you're done, what you have now is a lever, sit here and kind of help break that loop down, okay? Something to pull on it. So that opens that loop up. I'm gonna put that in my pocket, hopefully I don't lose my toggle again. And you can break that, and then you can dismantle this whole system right here. Now, the other way you do it, same thing, pinch right here. And instead of going over the main line right here, or the tail end, excuse me, what you want to do, maybe I should stand here. There we go. That's better. So instead of going over the tail end here, go over the tail and the main line, grab the rest of the tail, go through the loop, and secure it. So it's nice and tight. So there we go. That to me seems to work out a lot better than the single strand over here. Just personal preference. Make sure that's nice and tight. You can always sit there and double loop it. You can tie it with a simple another slip knot, whatever you want to do there to double. Make sure this is not going to break loose on you in the middle of the night and have your shelter come crashing down you. Same thing, we can break that down, push it away, roll the stick, what you want to do. Breaks that line. Okay, cool. Now, neat trick I learned on YouTube years and years ago is you take your tail end here through the trucker hitch loop, okay? Kind of pinch this off, but it's not going to really matter if this gets loosey-goose again. Reason being is, let me find my tail end here. Okay, I got like 4 foot of cordage to work with. But go through the loop again, okay? So we have the loop. This is the main tail. I have my secondary tail coming right behind this and underneath that loop or main tail line. Okay, so now we're going to have something that's going to look like this. Okay, so your main tail, it's going around the loop. It's basically wrapping around. If you guys can see that. And what you want to do is cinch that down, making sure the main tail, as I call it right here, is on top of that bottom tail. And it's going to bite in on itself. You guys see, I'm not holding it. Here's the end of the cordage. Okay, no gimmicks, nothing like that. It's just, it's now tight because of that situation. I like this tip and trick a lot because, you know, I don't have to worry about tying this off. Now, granted, I'm still going to tie this off just because I don't want it popping out in the middle of the night. But on a calm night, I've never really had an issue with it. So again, I'm going to lay this over, like so. Tail end through that loop. Pull this. So it's nice and tight. Get my toggle, which I think I threw in my pocket. I'm a dingbat, I did that. Get your toggle. Secure it that way. You can always take this, make a nice little bow. Awesome. Whatever you want to do, secure it. However you want to secure this end, you can. Or, simply, what some people do is take the tail end here, wrap it up, and instead of a toggle, they use the actual cordage to help tie that up. But we're just going to leave that alone like that. We're going to set up our lean-to shelter. Alright. So because we're talking about a 2-tarp system, like usual, we're going to make sure nothing is on the ground that can puncture any of my sleeping material, anything like that. It's going to poke up like dead standing trees, branches, sticks, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Make sure this is actually an elevated area compared to the rest of the surrounding, which it is. So water would drain down here in front of the camera before it actually got onto me. And what you want to do is get some pine boughs, which I'm going to get real quick, throw that out on a bed. But how big is my bed going to be? Because you always want to make sure your bed can fit inside your shelter comfortably. You're not curled up in a little ball and squished and uncomfortable all night, because it's not going to work out. Now, I know this tarp, this Arcturus I've had for, I think, a few years now, I want to say, is long enough where if I lay on it, it's going to be the correct length for a bed. So I can sit here. I have to make sure nothing's going to puncture it, I guess you said. Make sure. Pull this out. And I can kind of mark on the ground. Like so. Probably won't be in camera view. Like so. Okay. So, there's that. Feet. We're comfortable. Okay. Now I want to take a stick or something like that. Mark off head and the foot. Oops, I broke. Foot. Perfect. So that's going to be my area for the bed. Alright folks, so I got my pine boughs here all spread out. I don't have any pokey sticks or anything like that underneath them or anything like that, but you could use dead branches or sticks or even logs to help raise you off the forest floor even more so, if that's what you want to do. There's an innumerable way of how to make a bed in the wilderness. Honestly, it's just really up to your imagination. Now, you want to make sure this is compressed down, and when it's compressed down, it's going to be anywhere from 6 to 8 inches compressed insulation underneath you to battle conduction effectively. Now, that's good. We got that. Okay, cool. Now, when we talk about shelter systems, most people think, oh, tarp, throw it up, cool, there's my shelter. Not so. You got to think of the acronym IOU. As in IOU, or you owe yourself technically, a good night's rest. Now, if you can't sleep well, what will happen in a survival situation, should you ever find yourself in that, you'll start to deteriorate, your mind will be slower, you'll make poor judgment of decisions and whatnot, which could lead to serious injury or death. God knows. Hopefully it never happens. But point being, though, is you want to sleep under something, in something, on something. Okay? I just use the acronym IOU because then people kind of remember, oh, IOU, I owe myself a good night rest. There you go, right? Well, really it's under, in, on. But that sounds weird. So anyways, this is my bed, and like so, we talked about it. Mylar on the inside here is reflecting back towards my body from the really 3 different ways, from my back, underneath, on top of me, and roll up in this like little cocoon. I'll be fine all night. So now the actual tarp itself. All right, so let me get my arm out of the way here. As you guys can see, we have our tarp splayed out lengthwise, giving our bedding nice coverage where the head is and whatnot, and the feet. If this wind wasn't blowing, you guys could probably see it more effectively. There we go. It's giving me coverage for my whole body, for my whole bed. Now, there's technically 3 different ways here as well you can secure this. Now, I like shock cordage because it does give the grommet a little more life. So what I could do is simply ignore the shock cordage, take the prusik knot, or maybe you don't have shock cordage, what it's going to be, run the prusik knot through here, if there's enough room. I don't know if there actually is. Okay, there is. And I could take a toggle, a stick basically, and run it through where my fingers are and capture the line that way. Or, say I have shock cordage, but there's limited access to sticks or whatever it's going to be, depending on where you're camping at in the world. I'm going to take my shock cordage, have it in 2 like this, make 2 loops, prusik knot through there, take it, wrap it around that knot there, and then as you guys can see, hopefully so, this captures like that. You can pull it taut like this. It's going to have a little give from the ridge line, which arguably is okay depending on the situation you find yourself in. Now, what I find best to do, so you don't have prusik knots, right, or you forgot to put them in or whatever it's going to be, you take your shock cordage like so, go around again, and secure it just like that to the ridge line. No prusik knot, no toggles, nothing, just around itself like that. You can do it again, double it, whatever you want to do, but that will actually keep it more so tight to the ridge line opposed to having it by prusik knot. Just throwing out there 3 different ways to put on a ridge line. We'll put this whole thing up and we'll be done for the video. Alright folks, so like I said before, what I like to do is double my shock cordage here because it doesn't stretch out as far, it doesn't ruin the shock cordage as much if you do it this way, especially on the grommet, saves the grommet. But what I like to also do is make big sticks like this, okay, big stakes, excuse me. That way if I come around here at night or whatever, I can see them more visibly than small sticks or stakes in the ground. So just my personal preference, you guys do what you want. But what this also does is take up less slack in your tarp. So I'm going to slide this onto the stake. Don't go straight in with the stake. Go at an angle 45 or so. Kind of push that in the ground as much as you can with your body weight. And then what you can do is find a nice green piece of wood or something like that, it's not going to splinter or break or anything like that, send things flying. And what you can do, I mean, this is dead, but this works great for a mallet. Angle it. Be careful of your hand, obviously. Pound that stake into place. Okay. I'm going to repeat this back here, and I'm going to mention something real quick about ventilation. Alright guys, so I wanted to mention this real quick, just in case you live in a very hot climate or whatever, and you're just using a lean-to for shade or for shelter for the night, whatever it's going to be, right? So what you can do is kind of float the bottom of your shelter here, allowing the convective breeze to blow through, obviously keeping you cool. The shade is anywhere from, I think if I read correctly, anywhere from 10 to 20 degrees cooler than the actual atmosphere around it, or in the sunlight. So, you know, it's a great option. Now also, if you sleep cold like I do, this is also a great option too, especially in the warmer months. So we have this all staked out, and if we don't want it like this, or it's getting too cool, we can just drop down the quarters like that, take some pine needles like this, or forest debris, leaves, doesn't matter, and we can block the wind this way. I mean, it could even be dirt, who cares, right? So we can do that as well. It just really depends on your comfort level. You do what you want to do there. Alright folks, so that's the lean-to shelter. I mean, it obviously takes way less time than this video is long to actually set up the shelter. Very effective, very comfortable in the warmer months. Obviously you can take some mosquito netting, drape it over top here to help kind of keep mosquitoes and other bugs off you as well. So keep that in mind. It's great, like I said, for spring, summer, fall and winter. I'd probably go for more of a plow point shelter, me personally, but that's neither here nor there. Now, with the fire placement, you want a long fire, okay, one large step away, and you're going to burn logs all night on that thing to help keep you warm from head to toe. Because right now, even here in the UP in May, it's getting down to about low 40s, mid 40s, somewhere around there at night. I think it dipped down to like 30 degrees a couple nights ago, something like that. Now, a little cold, but hey, like I said, have my Mylar, have a fire, you're good to go. Battling most convection, because you do want that breeze to help keep you cool, but most of the convection, precipitation, and conduction from the ground, you're going to have a comfortable night all night. So, as always guys, thanks for watching. Stay frosty, prep up. God bless.